And good morning. Here we are, we're just outside the hotel, and yeah, it's raining, but overall I'm very excited to go and see Cinque Terre, which is a collection of 5 villages on the cliff top making up a national park, or part of a national park. And you can see it's all very green. So the plan is check out Cinque Terre, and then we'll head over to Pisa, see the Leaning Tower of Pisa, which is going to help today because I imagine the rain will drain off it. And then after Pisa, we're going to make our way. We're going to make our way towards Ancona, which will be our stop for tomorrow, as we tomorrow night have the ferry to Greece, which is not raining in Greece. So I'm quite looking forward to getting out of the rain, because it was like this miserable yesterday, miserable today. So it's not as fun. It feels like a chore when it's raining, rather than a bit of a treat. So we are on the search for a cash point. Now, this TomTom sat-nav's been pretty good, although you've seen it do some funny things, trying to make me turn right, turn left down a cliffside, or turn left into someone's vegetable patch. So at times, it's done some very strange things. But mostly it's been very reliable, which has been really nice. And anyway, I wish it was a bit smarter. Like, Google Maps knows every single place in the world, right? Really, really useful. It's not a single thing it hasn't heard of, and it finds them near instantly, and it knows what you mean as well. When you type Leaning Tower of Pisa, it knows. But on the TomTom, when I typed Tower of Pisa, it took ages and it couldn't come up with anything. So I just typed Pisa, and then in points of interest it came up saying, did you mean top of Pisa Tower? Yes. Why couldn't you have seen the word Pisa and the word tower and sort of put 2 and 2 together, TomTom, and come up with directions to the Leaning Tower of Pisa? I really don't understand it, like how it thinks. And I've even tried typing things in the specified language, and sometimes that really helps, and other times it's not got a clue what's going on. And it's absolutely useless. Aha, there's an ATM. Right, let's just pop her in here for a sec. Why? Come on! That's so annoying. Perfecto. Right, let's try that again. There we go, that was pretty easy, although one sort of slight problem, and I say slight problem, sort of going to be a big pain, is they only gave me 50s, so I've got 6 €50 notes, so that's going to make things really annoying going for change and stuff. People are going to hate me. And as I was saying, it is so nice to have the shaft drive, because I don't know what it was about chains, but I went around Scotland, literally just Scotland, for 2 weeks. Went around Scotland, came back, chain was dry, rusting, barren. It was coated in white stuff, and not like that, you dirty viewer. It was coated in like a proper, you know, when you go to get your bike serviced and you come back and it's got all this sort of, the chain has got this sort of white wax on it. I brought that stuff. It did a brilliant job. It was so sticky, and it was like all year round. And it claimed to have something like 2,000 miles between sprays required. Anyway, all I did was go around Scotland, which is 1,000 miles, and I had one rainy day, and after that rainy day there were specks of rust on it, and it was all kinked, and it just looked all weird. Oh, Jesus. Wow. Alright, I might have to focus a bit more, because this is not quite as I remember it yesterday. Anyway, I'm just glad not to have chain, because the shaft drive, that's a game changer. I do wish it was an option on every motorbike. The shaft drive, or even just a belt drive. I nearly brought a belt drive conversion kit for my Triumph, actually. It was £900, and you had to make some small adjustments to the chain, but it was £900, and you had to make some small adjustments to what used to be the chain cover case, just so that the belt doesn't get worn on it, but I could do that. I am slightly mechanically able, not as good as like the Works. If you see what the Works does, he really built that whole Triumph from top to bottom using Helmet Head's bike. What's going on here? This was really fun in the dry yesterday, it's not so fun in the wet. Oh wow, they are really... Ciao! I'm Italian, you see. Oh, please don't make me stop on the hill. Ah, always one. There's always one. Grazie. Whoa, look at that. You don't want to meet that. Jesus. This is not a road surface for me. This is horrible. Why can't they just shut the road? Is this an Italian thing? Do you just rip up a perfectly sticky road surface and leave gravel everywhere? Oh, it's actually, I'd say it's actually better on that rough stuff. But anyway, I hate this road. I can't wait to get off it. How is this allowed? Look at the piles of literal tar and all the rest of it they've just left. That's alright, is it? What I don't understand is why can't they shut the road? Whew. That was probably the least amount of fun I've had on that road. Yesterday it was so smooth and lovely, but today must obviously be the day they scratch the road surface and absolutely rip it up, because that was not enjoyable at all. Right, I did this yesterday and it was a really weird turn, so I just got to try and remember how I did it. Because it's pretty fast when it comes around. So it's not here, it's in 210 metres. And if you miss it like I did, there was somewhere to turn around. Here it is. Oh, that's quick, isn't it? And then it basically takes you round. Past all the van lifers. And then down here. And I've got a funny feeling there isn't a road that links these two buildings up, so we now need to go left. I don't know how this sound is coming through on the mic. Obviously I'll watch it back in the edit, but I've got to say the engine is not struggling at all. It is obviously doing a bit of engine braking, which obviously does make some noise, but I've got to say this is that's about a quarter of its revs, so it's not even really struggling, to be honest. The only time you hear a boxer engine struggle is if you're in the wrong gear going up a hill and you hear it go chok 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 chok. And actually yesterday off camera, because it was mist and rain and it was awful, I did actually stall it up a hill, and I think I flooded the engine because it took quite a while for it to restart, which was really unusual. So I stalled, and I'm literally on a corner like this, but I'd say even steeper and worse. And I stalled and it took a good minute or so. I just shut it off, give it a jiggle, let it prime again, and then it took at least a good minute or so for it to actually burst back into life. And when it started again, it was perfectly happy. But yeah, right, coming up soon is, it's literally going to be like a crack in the wall like this. It's not something that a sat-nav's going to be very useful at showing, but I think this little town is going to be worth a watch. It'd be worth a look. It's kind of like a sort of Cornish coastal town, but in Italy, with normally more sun and more rain. Right, so it's not this one. It's not that one, but it's going to be very much like that. No, they're not interested. They're Italian seagulls. Hey, oh yeah, hey. Right, ready for what I think is the steepest bit of motorbike parking. I really hope I can get in and turn round. Thankfully no one behind me. Oh good. Right, is there turning space? Let's think about this. Oh, there's another one down the slope. Alright, let's go for it, I suppose. Ready? Oh. Well, hello. You join me in Maggiore, which is probably the most run-down version of the Cinque Terres. But yeah, there's 5 of them, and they're all similar to this. So a little town carved out the hilltop. Very much like Cornwall, but it's in Italy. But really, really lovely, really steep. But very similar to our Port Isaac, basically. But yeah, lovely to see. Really fun. I'm just going to admire the view for a bit longer, and then I'm going to trek back up the hill. Welcome. You join me in Maggiore for probably my first attempt at a walking tour. Now it's going to look like I'm walking around and talking to myself, but if I can avoid falling down these steps, I thought I'd, well, I've got the mic set up and the camera stuck to my head, I'd attempt to give you a walking tour. Probably the biggest thing about it is I know nothing about the place we're visiting, and I look like I'm talking to myself, but I just thought, for a bit of a laugh, I'd stick the camera on. You can hear me huffing and puffing. Loads of Americans. So here it is. Hopefully you can get an idea. Again, the GoPro will make this look flat, but hopefully you can get an idea of what it's like. A bit rustic, gotta say. Probably the most rustic one of them all from the photos I've seen. So we're going to go up and have a look at this view now. And there you go. It's a bit of sea, a bit of rocks. You can bet I won't be going down there, because that looks slippery as anything. And these motorbike boots, I don't have very good grip anyway, so there's no way I'm going down there. Now the plan was to get the drone out and fly it, but it doesn't look possible. Though it looks like there's blue skies coming in, so maybe at one of the later towns I might be able to. But here you go. This is Maggiore. It's quite scenic, really. If you lived here and you left the oven on, you'd be in for a right treat, wouldn't you? I bet all the people who live here are quite fit. Welcome back. Now helpfully this van's parked nearly in front of the turning space, so I've just come down to just check I can actually get out, because once I'm down this slope I'm pretty committed to getting out, so I could come around there. Or I can go around there. Okay, great. As long as he doesn't move, which I bet he will, just as I'm getting somewhere, then should be okay. Because there's no way I'm going to be able to turn around on this. Right, come on mate, get out of the way. Thank you. Let's go. Gotta say, it's great to be back with an engine underneath me. I'm sure you enjoyed my walking tour. I don't know anything about the town and I'm just talking and walking, but God, I would have paid up to €5 for someone to ferry me back up the hill, and I'm surprised that's not a business there yet, because there was luggage services which would bus your luggage up and down the hill, but I'm surprised there's not a people carrier that just spends its poor tragic days going up and down that hill. Anyway, speaking of going up and down hills, I think we're about to go up the same one I've already been up about 3-4 times. Alright, let's just give him a bit of space so I don't have to look at the back of a van. Here we go, I'm on the Rainbow Road. Lovely oil slick running right down the side of it. Fantastic, just what you want. Anyone going to clear it up? Nah, just leave it there, mate. Just leave it there. Oh, look at this. Mario would be proud of that, wouldn't he? Whoa! Wow. Trying to keep a distance, but it's so hard to maintain it. Oh, thankfully they have got some sense. They've put some down on it. Oh, it's awful. Look at that for a view. So this is the national park, and very, very colourful. Right by the sea as well. Really reminds me of Cornwall actually, but a lot more twisty, and obviously the Italian version, but it's got a very Cornish feel about it. I think places like Port Isaac, of course, really give it that feeling. This keeps catching me up. Right, here we go. Whoa. Wow. What a town. Right. Yeah, again, you don't really need to do much throttle control here, really. Wow. Just literally just stick it in a gear. Every so often, like a flat bit, you'll have to touch the throttle slightly. But if not, just cruise along. I say, it's not the most sporting road, and but it's good. It gives my right wrist a rest. Not that it needs a rest. Just waiting for this white van to get up that hill because there's motorbike parking there. Should have gone, to be honest. Right, here we go. Go up here, and then there I sort of saw a motorbike parking bay just here. Perfect. Parking El Moto. That's me. Brilliant. Ooh, let's have a look around here, shall we? Welcome back. Now we're touching low fuel, and I really should have done it this morning because I could just carry on up the coast. Anyway, 45 minutes, that's the nearest one, 22 kilometres. Then we'll have a quick look at the villages we didn't see, and then we'll get on the motorway and head over towards Pisa. I think the best outcome would be would be to not run out of fuel. I think the second best outcome, oh actually, let's get on the road and I'll do this while I got up the big hill. was lovely. Now I can imagine in the summer this whole road is just strewn with caravans and roads and coaches and buses, so I can't imagine it being as easy to navigate as that was. Anyway, we've got just over half an hour till we get to the petrol station, and then I can relax a bit more, have a look at the little towns, and then we'll start to head down to the Leaning Tower of Pisa, and after Pisa so we'll pick up a motorway for a little bit just to keep us going, sort of on schedule. The plan for the end of today is to be at least past Firenze or Florence, just so tomorrow all I've got to do is like 100 kilometers or less. That would be ideal, because tomorrow really is just a day for me to get to the ferry. So the ferry departs, they keep changing it, so currently it's going to depart at 9 PM. It's gone from leaving at 8 to half 8 to 9, but again, as long as it's getting later and not earlier. Anyway, so my plan for tomorrow is really just to do hopefully 100 kilometers or less. That would be great. Yeah, we're on the reserve trip now. It's time. Okay, not this one. We want this one. Yeah, no, the hill climb's not over. But yeah, so if by the end of today we could be past Florence or Firenze, that would be the most ideal. If I can go any further, I probably will push on for like another 50 kilometers or something, just because I really want the least amount of travel tomorrow. All I want to do tomorrow is check out the hotel as late as possible, bimble really slowly over towards the port, and then my plan was just to get lunch by the port of Ancona and just hang around for a bit, well, for as long as possible really, till I get on the ferry. And they keep changing it, so they want me on 3 hours early. So as the latest time they told me, 9 o'clock, I'd need to be on the ferry for 6 o'clock. So I suppose I do have another day, but if I get a puncture or something like that, I really don't want something so silly to mean I miss the ferry. I'd rather spend a day sitting around not doing a lot, but knowing I'm only 10 kilometers from the port, rather than attempting, you know, a road like this. Oh, thank God nobody's coming. Yeah, rather than attempting a road like this, because as much as it would be lovely to make the most out of every single second, I do think just for the first ferry at least should make a really good effort, because I love Italy, but I have spent like 7 days here now, which was way more than I thought I would. But again, that's because all of the Swiss mountain passes were shut, and so were the best ones in Italy, so I hadn't planned to be here yet. And also because I was going to get the ferry from Venice. Here we go, this is the Rainbow Road. And also because I was going to get the ferry from Venice, but I couldn't get a cabin on the ship that sailed from Venice. And I'm not spending 28 hours on a boat without a cabin. So what do you do with your stuff? What do you do when you want to shower? Do you have to take everything with you? Do you just hope that no one's going to nick anything? Do you get a locker? I suppose the locker would make things not so bad, but anyway. A cabin's only about £90, and I think actually for the night, that's practically a hotel, isn't it really? It just means you've got somewhere to be. Absolutely lovely. Well, here we are, Fagina Harbour, and I've just spotted some motorbikes, so I'm going to try and park with them, and we'll see how we get on there. What a lovely place. Right, let's try and get some food, and we'll head over to the Tower of Pisa. There we go. We've just stopped on pretty much what is essentially the end of Cinque Terre. And yeah, look, big man carved into the rock. Quite a lot of detail actually. The more detail you look, the more you see. Obviously I don't want to look at it for too long. I'm not like that. But anyway, let's get back on the road and we're going to do about 100 kilometres to Pisa. So, I'll see you in a sec. Just one quick thing as well, if you're planning to come and visit the Leaning Tower of Pisa on your motorbike, you don't need to park in any of the car parks miles away. You can literally come through this zone because it says it's apart from motorbikes, and there is parking like right at the front gates of the Tower of Pisa. So I wish I knew that, and there's also parking around here as well, so really wish I knew that. But anyway, just these little things that just mean if you're travelling by motorbike, you can see more in one go. Anyway, let me just show you where I could have parked. Literally just there, and you go around the corner and there's the tower, or if you go around the corner there's actually loads of motorbike parking around the corner as well. Here we go, just leaving Pisa, and we're going to get on the motorway now and we're going to head over to halfway to a place called Arezzo, something like that. Anyway, that'll make me halfway to Ancona and should hopefully put me a bit nearer the ferry port tomorrow. So there we go. Obviously this is the Leaning Tower of Pisa. It is quite leaning as well, so yeah, bit of a problem with the foundations. Anyway, and that thing as well, don't know what that is. Anyway, just had dinner and we're going to put the earplugs in, get on the motorway now and get through 160 kilometres, and then we have a hotel for tonight. So that's all sorted, and let's get back on the road and I'll see you soon.